Hello guys, this is part 10. Hello guys, this is part 108 of ASP.NET video series. In this video, we will discuss about raising and consuming date selected event of the calendar user control. This should enable us to understand event and delegate much better. To get the most out of this video series, I strongly recommend to watch part 106 and 107 from the ASP.NET video series and part 36 to 39 from C# video series. So when do we want to raise the date selected event? The date selected event from calendar. So when do we want to raise this date selected event from calendar user control? Whenever the user selects the date from the calendar, that is when we want to raise the date selected event, the calendar user control. As it stands currently has an event already called calendar visibility changed event, and that event is raised whenever the visibility of the calendar changes. So what are the steps to create a date selected event? From the calendar user control? Obviously, first step is to create a date selected event args human class that is going to contain event data. So let's go ahead and create that class. I'm going to create that class within calendar user control file. So as you can see here, this class is the calendar user control class. Here is the calendar user control class. Here is the calendar user control class itself. And then we have this calendar visibility changed event args. And then we have this calendar visibility change event args class, which is going to contain the event data, for calendar visibility changed event. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a class that is going to contain event data for date selected event. Okay. So public class and I am going to call this date selected event args. I am going to call this date selected event args. Okay, and this is going to inherit from event args class. Okay, So what event data is this event going to contain? Date selected event. What type of data it contain? It is going to contain the date and time the user has selected within the calendar control. Okay, so obviously we need a variable of that type to hold that data. So I am going to create a private variable. I am going to create a private variable of date and time. Of date time of date time type, and I am going to call this underscore selected date. Underscore selected date. Okay, obviously to expose that private field to the external world we need a public property. So I am going to create another public property with the same name, selected date with capital S. And that is going to expose this private field, and it is going to be a read-only property. And it is going to be a read-only property. It's going to be a read-only property because we don't want to allow user to be changing this property from outside. So return this dot underscore selected date. Okay, finally we need a constructor which can be used to initialize this private field. So let's go ahead and create that constructor. So public date selected event args. So public date selected event args and then to the constructor we want to pass a parameter, and that parameter is used to initialize the private field. Date time selected date. Date time selected date. And that parameter used to initialize the private field. So this dot underscore selected date is equal to whatever is coming into this parameter, into the parameter. This dot underscore selected date whatever is coming into this parameter. So selected date. So a very simple class. So a very simple class to hold our event data. A private field, a public property, and a constructor. Okay, so that is the first step. What is the next step? What is our next step? The next step is to create a data selected event handler delegate, and we know that delegates are type of function pointers, and the signature of a delegate is very much similar to that of a function. Okay, except that the delegate declaration has a delegate keyword within that. So let's go ahead and create a delegate. Public go ahead and create a delegate, and we have discussed about why we need delegates, when we are discussing about calendar visibility change events. So it is strongly recommended to watch the previous 2 video sessions before proceeding with this video. Okay, so let's go ahead and create that delegate now. So public, we create the delegate using delegate keyword. Using delegate keyword, the return type is going to be void, and I am going to call this date selected event handler. Here it is, date selected event handler delegate. So date selected event handler. Okay, and obviously to this delegate we need 2 parameters. The sender parameter is going to tell which object instance is raising this event, and obviously to store event data that we need this date selected event args. That date selected event as object. So object sender, and then to store the event data we have this date selected event args class, which I am going to use as parameter. This is also a class, we have created it here. Date selected event args, and which I am going to use as parameter for this delegate. Okay, that's it. Now look at this delegate will later be actually used to point to an event handler method. Okay, and this delegate will then hand over this object, and this delegate will then hand over this object, whatever you see here, this object to the event handler method, and event handler method can retrieve date selected property from this object and use it the way they want. That is why we actually need to pass that object that is why we actually need to pass that object which contain our event data, this object which contain our event data to this delegate, to this delegate. So that is why we actually need to pass that object which contain our event data to this delegate, and this sender parameter specifies which instance of this calendar user control is actually raising the event. For example, let's say on our web form I have calendar user control 1, calendar user control 2, etc. Now if I want to know for any reason which instance of this calendar user control raise the event, I use this property. I use this property object sender. This object within the event handler method. Okay, that is the reason why we need to create this delegate. That is the reason why we need to create this delegate. That is the second step. That is the second step. Create date selected event handler delegate. What is the third step? Create the event itself. What is this third step? Create the event itself. Date selected event. So what are events? Events are variable of type delegate with an event keyword in front of them, and we have discussed about this as well in the previous session. So let's create that event there. Now event, this date selected event should be part of the calendar user control class. Okay, so we have to create that event inside the calendar user control class. So let's me expand that. Where is the calendar user control class? Let me expand it. This is the calendar user control class, and we need to create the event date selected within this calendar user control class. So public event, we use the event keyword and then date selected event handler date selected event handler, that is the delegate. Date selected event handler, that is the delegate, and then my variable or my event name is going to be date selected. Is going to be a date selected. Okay, that is the event date selected. That is step third. That is step third. We have created our event. We have created our event date selected. What is the fourth step? What is the fourth step? Create a protected virtual method on date selection to raise the event. Now we can raise the event. Now we can raise the event directly. We can raise the event directly, but we spoke about why it is very important to use this protected virtual method. to actually raise the event rather than directly raising that in the previous session. Okay, so let's go ahead and create this protected virtual method. To do that, so I am going to create that protected virtual method. Protected virtual void virtual method. To do that, so I am going to create that protected virtual method, and then I am going to call this method as on date selection. On date selection. On date selection. So whenever the user selects a date, what do I actually want to do? I want to pass this date selected event hours. Date selected event hours. Date selected event hour class as a parameter into this function. I'm going to call the instance as E. I'm going to call the instance as E. The variable as E. And now what we need to do, we need to check if date selected event is not null. What we want to do, we need to check if date selected event is not null. If date selected is not null, and then raise the event. And again we discuss about why it is very important to check if the event is not null before we actually raise the event. So if date selected, if that event, so if date selected, if that event is not null, that is when we want to raise the event. If that event date selected is not null, that is when we want to raise the event. Okay, we checked about the importance of this condition. We discussed about the importance of this condition in the previous video session. Okay, so what do we want to do? We simply want to raise the event. Now when you are raising the event, now look this. Now when you are raising the event, now look this event, which event? Date selected event. This event is actually a variable. This event date selected event is actually a variable of type this delegate, date selected event handler. And if you look at that delegate, it has got these two parameter. It has got these two parameter. Obviously when you are raising that instance, so obviously when you are raising that instance, it expects those two parameter to be passed in. Okay, those two parameter to be passed in. Okay, so what is this sender? Sender is nothing but, if I drag and drop this calendar user control on a web form, I will get an instance of this calendar user control 1 maybe. Okay, so this class is basically raising that event. So sender is going to be this. Sender is going to be this. Here it is. Sender is going to be this keyword, and you say this. We are actually telling an instance of this class. Okay, and then obviously we need event data as well, and event data is coming into this method as a parameter, coming into this method as a parameter. So event data is coming into this method as a parameter. So I am going to use this. So I am going to use this E here. Okay, whenever call this method, they have to pass event data also as a parameter into this, into this function. Okay, so what is the final step? What is the final step? The final step is to actually raise the event. So when should raise the event? We raise the event whenever we select date. So when should raise the event? We raise the event whenever we select the date in the calendar. Okay, so whenever the selection in the calendar changes, that is when we should raise the event. Okay, so obviously when that happens within the calendar user control, we already have a method calendar1 underscore selection changed. We already have a method calendar1 selection changed. That is when we retrieve the selected date from the calendar control. And we are populating that text box. Okay, so that is when I actually want to raise this selected date. So that is when I actually want to raise this selected date event. Okay, so before you raise the event, you have to prepare event data. because we need to notify the event handler method what date the end user has selected, and to do that we have created a class called date selected event args. Date selected event args. So before you raise the event, you have to prepare event data, because we need to notify the event handler method what date the end user has selected. And to do that we have created a class called date selected event args class, and I am going to call that a variable, date selected event data. Date selected event data is equal to we create an instance of that class. We are creating the instance here, instance of that class date selected event args. And look at this instance expects a date time. This instance this instance expect a date time that the user has selected, Okay, the constructor is expecting that, so we pass the selected date from the calendar to that constructor, Okay, and finally what we do, we raise the event, and to raise the event we have created method on date selection. We have created a method on date selection, and this method expects an object of type date selected event args, which we have here, we are going to pass that there. Which we have there, and which we are going to pass that there. Date selected event data. Look at that, what is going to happen this on date selection method. Is going to happen this on date selection method. So look at what is going to happen. The on date selection method is called and if you look at that is a very simple method. And if you look at that, It is a very simple method. We have this date selected args. We have this date selected args, date selected event args, which you are passing in as a parameter, and this object contains the event data, and this object contains the data that the user collected. So now it should make sense why we have created this delegate. So that should make sense why we have created this delegate. This one. The event. This event, and then this protected virtual method, and then this protected virtual method. And finally this is where we are actually raising the event. And finally this is we are actually raising the event. Okay, so we are putting all these pieces together right now. Okay, so that is it. That's it. We are done raising the event. Let me go ahead and build the solution. The keyboard shortcut is Ctrl+Shift+B. Ctrl+Shift+B. On the status bar, notice that build succeeded. Build succeeded. So we are done with these 5 steps. So we are done with these 5 steps. Or 5th step, create the event. So what our next step? Let's use that event or consume that event on a web form. Our next steps, let's use that event or consume that event on a web form. So let me drag and drop this calendar user control on a web form. So I have this webform3.axpx. Here is the webform3.axpx. I have already drag and drop the this calendar user control on this webform3. If I delete it to show you it again, now I drag and drop this calendar on webform3. Simply drag and drop. So let me drag and drop. I have drag and drop the calendar user control on to a web form. So I have this web form 3.axpx. At the moment it does not have any control, but I have drag and drop onto this web form 3. So we have this calendar user control there, and if you look at the source, the ID is calendar user control 1. If you look at the source, the ID is calendar user control 1. Now to consume the event, I mean to hook up the event handler method to date selected event of this calendar user control. There are two ways to do that. One, you can do actually in the HTML. Or you can do that in code. First let's do that in code, and then we will see how to do that in HTML as well. So to do that in code, in the page load event, of this web form, I am going to hook up the event handler method with the event of the calendar control. So what is the ID of this calendar user control? It is calendar user control 1. Calendar user control 1 dot date selected event. Date selected is the event. Okay, look at the symbol lightning bolt I showed you again. Dot, this is the lightning bolt symbol. Date selected is the event. Okay, so as soon as I say dot date selected, then press space, and then press space, and then press space, then plus equal, and then look at the Visual Studio. It shows the event handler, it shows the delegate, but here I am not being able to see the delegate. So we need to do what? Ourselves write the delegate name, new date selected event handler. This is the delegate, and then calendar user control 1. Calendar user control 1 _ date selected. So we are getting an error. So to reduce this error, double click here, generate the method. Okay, so we have got our event handler, date selected event handler, and the event date selected event. and it is auto generated code. Calendar user control 1 underscore date selected is the event. Okay, this we can actually use to hook the event handler method. Now I press tab. I have already done that. So this is generate the, this is the event handler method. This is the event handler method. Automatic generated event handler method as well. Okay, so let's make the protected. So let's make the protected. It is private. We need to make it protected. Protected. And look at this using, and look at this. This event handler is actually, I mean, this delegate. I'm in this delegate date selected event handler. Look at this delegate date selected event handler is actually used to map to this function, is actually used to map to this function, calendar control 1 date selected, to this function, and it is the event handler method. Here is the event handler method. So whenever this date selected, date selected event happens, whenever the date selected event happens, so whenever this date selected event happens, this delegate gets invoked. This delegate gets invoked. This delegate gets invoked, and that delegate is pointing to this function, and that delegate is pointing to this function, and that delegate is pointing to this function. So this function gets invoked when date selected event happens. That's it. So what do we want to do right now? We want to, let's say, print the selected date. So response.write. So response.write So response.write, I am going to say selected date is equal to whatever the date a user has selected. How do I get that selected date? Using that object. Using that object. How do I get that? How do I get that selected date? Using that object that is coming into this event handler method. So I simply say e.selected. So I simply say e.selected date. Selected date, which is nothing but date time, but I want to convert that but I want to convert that. First I need to write the message selected date is equal to e dot selected date. So but I want to convert that to a short date string. I want to convert that to short date string, to short date string. And print that. So let me run this now. So we are actually handling the event, associating the event handler to the event in the code behind file. I come here, selected it, so save the changes and run the project. And I select the date. Look at that. Selected date. Selected date is that. Okay. Okay, so we have seen how to do, hook up the event to the event handler in the code behind file. Let's see how to do that in the HTML. All you have to do is within HTML, in this calendar control, on date, selected, on date selected, that is when we want to call this particular function. That is when we want to call this particular function. Let me copy this. Need to remove it from here and paste the particular function here. Save the changes. That's it. So now within the code behind file, I don't have that. So now in the code behind file, I don't have that delegate declaration. I don't have that delegation declaration. In the code behind file, I don't have that delegate declaration there. Save the changes. So when I press Ctrl F5 within the HTML, we have done the association. So now when I run the project, I should still be able to select the date, and that event should be handled, and that event should be handled should be handled. Look at that. That is being handled. Okay, so this is a quick okay. So this is a quick refresh for events and delegate in C#. If you want a detailed explanation of all these steps showed in presentation slide, we have spoken about that in the previous 2 sessions. Please watch those 2 video sessions. In the next video we will discuss about loading user control dynamically. Loading user control dynamically. Now in this video, if you look at this on this web form, at design time, I have the control here. I have an ID for the control. I have the control here. I have the ID here. I have an ID for that control here. Okay, but then if I have to load this dynamically at runtime, how do we do that? We are going to talk about that in the next video session. That's it for today. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.